Hey everyone, I'm Chris, and welcome to Wallet Sense. This is my channel where I help people with budgeting, saving, investing, and my approach is based off my life experience. I am in my 50s, I've raised 4 children and family, and these are the things that I have found that work for me. Today, we're going to be talking about zero based budgeting. Okay, $0 budgeting. We're just going to go over it in general and how it works. And if there's interest, I'm going to go into even more detail in other videos. But today, if you've never done zero based budgeting and you want to learn what is it, how does it work, then stay tuned. We're going to talk about it. All right, zero based budgeting. Okay, the idea behind zero based budgeting is that all of your money is involved in your budget. Okay, whenever you get money, you're going to budget it. Okay, that's the most simple way to think about it. Every amount of every dollar, right? If you get a tax refund, if your friend has to pay you some money, you sell something, you get some cash, you get a paycheck, all of this has to be budgeted. We're going to talk about some simple ways to do that. Basically, what you want to do is you want to assign every dollar to the expenses that you have. So you're going to have to, if you might get to the end and not have enough money, then obviously if you're in that situation, then your only two options are lower your expenses or increase your income. All right. And you want to track every dollar and move it into a category. When you set up a zero based budget, you want to figure out what are all my income first. So let's say you get paid every week, or maybe you get paid every month. Everybody's different, right? You might have irregular income. Maybe you're in sales, maybe you have a small business. Maybe you only get money, once a month. Then you want to list out all of your expenses. Okay. You can do this in an app or in a spreadsheet. I'm going to list, down in the description, I'm going to have a link to one of the apps that I use. It does cost money. If you click on that link, I think I get like extra time on the app or whatever. I don't get money, but there's some kind of kickback or whatever. One of the biggest mistakes that I see people make is that there are regular expenses that are going to come out throughout the year, like Christmas, or paying for their vehicle registrations, or paying for car insurance, or things like that, and they just get caught off guard on these expenses. And a budget is really going to help you with those types of expenses. So let's say that you are self-employed, and if your income is irregular, and let's say you have a small business or you're in sales, you want to be conservative and try to figure out what is a low month for you, right? And that's how you're going to base your budget. And then you want to cover the essentials first. Things like food and housing, transportation, these are all things that you have to have in order to continue living. And then you want to prioritize the rest of it, right? All right. So when you have unexpected expenses, right? Life happens, you need an emergency fund. Now I'm going to share a video at the end about how to do savings. But basically, what you're going to want to do is always be taking a little bit of your pay and putting it into a category that is just for emergencies. All right. That is just for something unexpected happen. And typically you're going to do this, when you're budgeting, whenever you receive money, every time. Remember, we're going to budget every dollar. Okay. We're going to budget it. The benefits of doing this is there's no waste, right? Because you're budgeting every dollar that you have, right? You're not uncertain about this or that, or you're not just budgeting for the bills. I see a lot of people, they say, well, oh, okay, I have my rent and I have my car payment, I'm going to set that aside, and then the rest of my money is spending money. Well, unfortunately, there's lots of other bills that come up. You have groceries, you have bills that come up maybe every 3 months or every 6 months. And putting those categories in your budget, you are going to always be caught off guard, right? And have unexpected expenses, when really a lot of those expenses are not unexpected, right? And they can be they could be planned for. So some expenses you want to overestimate. Like, for example, if you have to pay property taxes, right? Property taxes go up every year. I mean, they always go up. And I personally like to pay my own property taxes. I don't use an escrow account. So I own a home. I have to pay property taxes. I know generally how much it's going to be. And the reason I pay my own property taxes is because I like to have my money sit in a savings account all year. I don't want to give it to an escrow account where I don't earn any money. So I put it into a savings account and, earn interest on that money. And then whenever the time comes, every year I have the money, it's ready to go. So you want to pay off debt before you even start investing in savings, right? And I'll have other videos where we can talk about strategies for paying off debt. And the idea is that you want to make sure that you budgeted every dollar. I know I've said that several times, but that's the number one strategy. Okay. So we talked about it. Every dollar has a job. There's some budgeting software out there called YNAB. That's one of their key takeaways. You don't have to use that software. You could use a spreadsheet if you want. You might have heard of Every Dollar. That's sort of budgeting software, and you can actually use that for free if you're just doing budgeting. When you go to sign up for that, they're going to try to sell you on a bunch of other options, but you can decline that and you could just use the free version. Ultimately, you can get it done with just a spreadsheet. You could get done with a pen and a piece of paper. When I first started budgeting, it was before I even had a smartphone or a computer, and I did it on the back of an envelope. I wrote down every one of my categories, and then I wrote down the amounts, and that's how I did it. Zero-based budgeting. It can be very, very effective. And the thing is that you're going to rely on your budget for how much money you have for things and not looking at your bank account. One of the big mistakes that people make is that they do balance budgeting, meaning they look at their balance in their account and they say, oh, I have this much money. Well, that's never going to work, because you want to be able to save for things that are going to happen in the future, right? And there's no way for you to look at it as a person and say, yes, I have accounted for everything just by looking at the balance. You have to write these things down. You have to set aside this money. And I'm telling you, once you start doing this with every paycheck, the stress level about your money is just going to go way down, way down. Whenever that bill pops into your head, you're going to know, like, oh, I've already accounted for that. I've already set that money aside. Now, this video is just a little introduction for zero-based budgeting. I'm definitely interested in doing more videos about this and going over a specific budget and going over software. I know I mentioned YNAB. I personally do use YNAB. This isn't a video just endorsing that, but I will have a link down in the bottom. If you want me to do a video specifically like on how to do it in a spreadsheet or how to do it in YNAB or Every Dollar, leave me a comment down there and I'd be more than happy to set up a video for that. If you have budgeting questions, go ahead and leave them down there. I'm more than happy to answer your questions. I hope you liked the video. If you did, give me a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos in the future from me. All right. Thanks, everyone, and have a great day.